Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Now, who do you got? Do you got Islam Makhachev, the guy that's coming up a weight class, that does have the grappling advantage, but seriously lacks the boxing? Or do you have Della Maddalena, the guy who is known for his boxing, who is not coming up a weight class, and is the underdog of this fight? Now, that's the thing we're trying to figure out in today's video, but before that, we're going to go over the whole fight card first. Everybody, please stay with me, and let's get through this. Okay, first fight of the night, we got Vyacheslav Boychev versus Matheus Camilo. Now, Slava Klaus versus the Brazilian. I have one question to you. Do you know what is Slava Klaus's UFC record? It is not 8-0. It is not 3-0. It is not 3-1. It is 3-5. Now, if I ask you, who has Slava Klaus lost to? He has lost to Terrence McKinney, Tom Nolan, Jay Super, Davis, Daukas. Now, if you put any one of those names against Matheus Camilo, who would win? I would have to say that Matheus Camilo would absolutely mop the floor with these guys. But he hasn't fought against them. He has only one fight in the UFC, which he lost. So why is Matheus Camilo the favorite? Now, he is the favorite only because he hasn't lost to those guys that Slava Klaus has lost to. And that is why we're going to have to put this fight in favor of Matheus Camilo. So, okay, moving on to the next fight of the night. We got Baisangur SusuKraev versus Eric Mcconico. Now, ladies and gentlemen, not too long ago, I saw an UFC Embedded episode where there was SusuKraev and he was getting ready for his UFC debut. Now, we all saw the fight where he had the debut. He got hurt a little bit, but he passed it with flying colors. He did get the knockout and he came out victorious. Now, everybody, do you guys remember who was SusuKraev's training partner in that UFC Embedded episode? It was Khamzat Chimaev. And Khamzat Chimaev himself has said that SusuKraev might be the next best thing in the UFC middleweight division. So, is SusuKraev a minus 1,050 overdog against Eric Mcconico? Now, obviously, he is not that big of a favorite, but Khamzat, that just shows how much weight has Khamzat Chimaev. Everything Khamzat Chimaev says, people take it as that's just it. Whatever he says, that is it. And I'm one of those people. I believe in Khamzat Chimaev. I believe everything Khamzat Chimaev has to offer me. If he gives me information, I will eat it up and I will not question it. And that is why I'm going to go with SusuKraev once more. Do I think he will be the middleweight champion? No, I do not think so. Right now, Khamzat Chimaev is the middleweight champion, but let's be honest, SusuKraev looks like he could be a welterweight as well. No offense, but that is why I'm going with Baisangur SusuKraev. All right, moving on to the next fight of the night, we got Angela Hill versus Fatima Kline. How old is too old to be fighting in the UFC? We saw Randy Couture win the championship at age 40 something. So but that was now almost a decade ago. So nowadays, is 40 too old? If you are a 40-year-old athlete that is going up against a 24-year-old athlete, you have some serious disadvantages. And we've seen this times again. Of course, the veterans can hang with the veterans because they have some extra confidence. But now, if you put Angela Hill, who is 40 years old, against an up-and-coming prospect in Fatima Kline, who has only one loss, what do you get? You don't get anything pretty, I'll tell you that. So that is why I'm gonna go with Angela Hill for excuse me. I'm going with Fatima Kline for this fight. So, moving on, we got Pat Sabatini versus Chepe Mariscal. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good fight. I think we can all agree this is a good fight. And the odds say that this fight is damn near 50-50. Minus 130 for Pat Sabatini, plus 110 for Chepe Mariscal. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that those odds are quite correct. The only thing I would change about these odds is that I would go the other way around. I would go minus 130 for Chepe Mariscal and plus 110 for Pat Sabatini. We have seen Pat Sabatini get hurt countless of times before in previous fights, and Chepe Mariscal, you cannot get hurt in front of this man, otherwise you are going down and the fight is going to be over. So that's why I'm going to go with Chepe Mariscal for this fight, and let's see what happens in the fight tape. Can Pat Sabatini take him down, hold him there? I highly doubt it, since Chepe Mariscal has proven that he can stand up if he does get taken down. So, okay, moving on to the next fight of the night, we got Kyle Daukas versus Gerald Meerschaert. I have seen Kyle Daukas get knocked out many times, if I'm being honest with you. I've seen Kyle Daukas being cut from the UFC just because he was at a losing streak. But the same thing goes for Gerald Meerschaert. Gerald Meerschaert is a veteran who has stood tall against all of the prospects a few years ago. But now, as he's getting older, he has gotten new prospects under his belt, and he has not passed those tests, unfortunately. As big as a fan I am of Gerald Meerschaert, I simply just cannot see him winning a fight in the UFC if the opponent is not a veteran as well. So, Kyle Daukas has some new life in his career. I think that he might get this done, so that's why I'm going with Kyle Daukas. I do not see Gerald Meerschaert joking out Kyle Daukas, even though Kyle Daukas has a fucking physique of if we have Leon Edwards, then Kyle Daukas is the complete opposite of Leon Edwards. So, but even with that physique, I'm gonna have to give this fight to Kyle Daukas. So, it is what it is. Moving on, we got the prelims now. We got Wellmaker versus Ethyn. What the fuck? Wait, what the hell? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got a little bit confused over there because I thought that Wellmaker was gonna fight against like some Australian prospect. And now we have a silhouette of a guy who I have no idea who is. So, all of the notes I made for myself are completely in the trash bin, so why the fuck would I pick like Ethyn Ewing? I think Wellmaker will knock him out. So, yeah, that is what it is. Moving on, we got Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. Now, let me take a sip of coffee real quick. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Erin Blanchfield is a minus 250 favorite against Tracy Cortez. But why is that? She is shorter. The reach is kind of the same. The leg reach is in favor of Tracy Cortez. Tracy Cortez has 2 losses in the UFC. Can you all guess how many losses does Erin Blanchfield have? She has 2 as well. So why is she such a big favorite? Well, that is because Erin Blanchfield has had more tests in the UFC than Tracy Cortez. She has fought against better level opposition, and that is why she is the favorite, because she did not get steamrolled about those higher level opposition female fighters. So that is why Erin Blanchfield is the favorite, and that is why she will get it done as well. So Erin Blanchfield it is. Moving on, we got Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodrigues. Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodrigues. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, this is, can you say it with me? This is a good fight. Can we all agree? If you look at this fight, Roman Kopylov versus Gregory Rodrigues, what do you think? I think this is a good fight. I think this is a really good fight. And do you know what this means This means that people are really, really high on Roman Kopylov. Because why do you think this is a good fight? This is a good fight because Roman Kopylov is not a trash can. Gregory Rodrigues cannot walk through this man. He don't get me wrong, he will try. He will try to just stand forward, put the pressure on Roman Kopylov, and he will try to knock him out. But the reason why this is a good fight is because we want to see if he can do it against an amazing, amazing Russian champion of Roman Kopylov. What do I think? I think Roman Kopylov will get knocked out, and that is because of the fight versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa could do it to Roman Kopylov. I think Gregory Rodrigues can do it 2 times as hard, 3 times as hard. So that is why I'm going to go with Gregory Rodrigues for this fight, but this will be a good fight. Do not count out Roman Kopylov. He has a chance. Of course he has a chance. But now the only thing that he does have is a chance. And Gregory Rodrigues has many of those chances. So that is why Roman Kopylov, I'm so sorry, but I am going to have to go with Gregory Rodrigues. Okay, moving on. We got Nickal versus Rodolfo Vieira. Nickal. Where do we go with this guy? Not too long ago, before his first fight, everybody was thinking that he was the next challenger for Khamzat Chimaev. But now, everybody's thinking, is he a good challenge for Rodolfo Vieira? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to ask you, how is that? Why is that? He's still the same guy. He still has those wrestling credentials, those USA wrestling credentials. So why are people doubting him against Rodolfo Vieira? If he was such a good fighter before the Ritter loss, then how come he is not anymore as good? He's still the same guy. So that's why I'm going to have to go with Nickal. I think he will steamroll through Rodolfo Vieira. Don't get me wrong, Rodolfo Vieira is a really, really good fighter. But, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking about Nickal versus Khamzat Chimaev not too long ago. And do you think that he is still the same Nickal? Of course he's not. He's gotten better. Do you think he's gotten worse? No. Hell no. The only thing this guy has gotten is better, and that's why I'm going to go with Nickal. Moving on to the main event, we got Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been following this sport so long that nowadays Beneil Dariush has gray hair, excuse me. Father Time is undefeated. Father Time is truly undefeated. I remember a time where Beneil Dariush could take all the shots in the world. He took shots from everybody. All the top contenders that you see at the top right now, he could handle them. But nowadays, I think we've gotten to the time point of MMA that the veterans are simply getting outclassed by the new generation. So, as much as I want to give Beneil Dariush the benefit of the doubt, I think that Benoit Saint-Denis is just... Not too long ago, we saw Mariscal versus BSD. That was an amazing performance. Amazing. He completely pressured him. He got him down. He choked him out. That was really nice. Really nice. But what has Beneil Dariush done in the past, 3-4 years? Pretty much nothing. He only has a couple of losses. He has one recent win against... Wait, what the fuck? He has a win against Mcconico. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to go with BSD. Moving on, we got Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Now, this is, once again, a really nice fight. Really good fight. Carlos Prates coming off a win against Jeff Neal. Leon Edwards coming off a loss against Sean Brady, which is no biggie. Sean Brady is the next challenger anyways for the title if he can get past the Ecuadorian. So we kind of have to wait and see. But now Leon Edwards, the head kicker heard around the world. Does lightning strike twice? Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question to you. Does lightning strike twice? Usually it doesn't, but we've seen countless of times that it has happened before. We've seen lightning strike twice, but I do not think that it will happen against a taller guy, a guy who has pretty much the same experience on the feet than Leon Edwards does. Carlos Prates is no wrestler. He will not try to go for the legs. If anybody goes for the legs in this fight, it's going to be Leon Edwards. I'm not going to lie. So, who do I think has the advantage? Of course, Carlos Prates. He has a much more experience against top-level opposition at this point than Leon Edwards does. Leon Edwards has not fought against people that Carlos Prates has fought against, and that it's just as simple as that. It is just as simple as that, and that's why I'm gonna go with Carlos Prates. I think he will get it done, probably knock him out as well. So that's gonna be the end of Leon Edwards. Everybody, please light a candle for Leon Edwards tomorrow, because he will fucking need all the fucking support you can get. So Carlos Prates by knockout. Yep, that is it. Next up, we got Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. Now, Sean Brady has one loss in the UFC. Can you say it with me? Who has Sean Brady lost against? It's Belal Muhammad. Sean Brady lost against Belal Muhammad. And why? Because he could nullify Sean Brady's wrestling and he out-pressured him. It was a kind of early stoppage, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Anyways, Sean Brady has a loss against Belal Muhammad and he outstruck him on the feet. Michael Morales lives on the feet. He will pressure you till you get out of the fucking octagon. Either you give up or you get knocked out. That's the only two options this guy has. And Michael Morales has really, really good takedown defense. I do not think Sean Brady can get him down that easily. And I think Michael Morales might actually out-pressure Sean Brady in this fight and might get the win. I'm going to go with the undefeated record. I have Michael Morales winning this fight by a knockout. So, it is what it is. Moving on, we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. I don't think I have ever been as excited for a female title fighter than this right here. So, Valentina Shevchenko, Zhang Weili, where do we go? What do we think? What are the first few thoughts that come to your mind? I'm thinking, who has the striking advantage here? Is it Valentina Shevchenko? She is taller. She has the bigger reach. But Zhang Weili has fought against many people who have higher reach and they are taller. So, who has the striking advantage? I've seen Valentina Shevchenko outstrike pretty much everybody in the UFC. I saw Zhang Weili get knocked out by Rose Namajunas, which is kind of a Leon Edwards head kick heard around the world moment, but she has gotten knocked out. Valentina Shevchenko has not gotten knocked out. So I think Valentina Shevchenko has the advantage in the striking department. Now, how good is Zhang Weili's wrestling? Can she take Valentina Shevchenko down? If Alexa Grasso could take him down, I think that Zhang Weili could easily do that. But here's the but. I think Valentina Shevchenko will outclass Zhang Weili on the feet. I think the bouncing, the stand your base thing will fucking work out. And I think that maybe Valentina Shevchenko can get it done, yeah. I don't see Zhang Weili winning this fight. Maybe I guess anything. If she is, we don't know how strong she really is because she has not fought against strong people. Yeah, okay, like the fucking grappling guys. Fuck that shit, bro. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Valentina Shevchenko just because of the opponent she has faced is a much more higher level than Zhang Weili. Even though Zhang Weili is probably the most difficult fight that Valentina Shevchenko has ever had, except for Amanda Nunes. But she has experience against Amanda Nunes as well. So I'm going to go with Valentina Shevchenko for this one. I'm sorry, guys. As much as I'd want for Zhang Weili to win, I do not see this happening. And that is my prediction for this fight. Anyways, moving on, we got the main event. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Jack Della Maddalena, Islam Makhachev. Who do you got? Seriously, who do you got? If it's Islam Makhachev, you have to think that Islam Makhachev can get Jack Della Maddalena down, and he can out-grapple him. But we've seen Jack Della Maddalena fight against people like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, a 2-time ADCC BJJ champion, could not take him down. If he did, he got back up and he punched him in the face until it was over. Islam Makhachev does not have the boxing that Jack Della Maddalena has, and I think this fight will be on the feet. So completely just because of that, I'm going to have to go with Jack Della Maddalena for this fight. I think it will be a really, really nice competition, but I do not see Islam Makhachev actually, I just changed my mind. To be honest, everybody, I'm so sorry. I just fucking completely changed my mind just right now, because I actually do think that Islam Makhachev can take JDM down, because JDM has not fought against people with the grappling pedigree as Islam Makhachev. He simply has not. And is JDM's takedown defense really been tested? I do not think so. I actually do not think so, and that is why I'm gonna have to go with Islam Makhachev. I think he will get him down. I think he can hold him down, and if he tries to get back up, I think he can find the choke as well. So, yeah, it all depends if JDM can deal with the takedowns of Islam Makhachev, but I really do not think so. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I think Islam Makhachev can get him down, because JDM has not fought against people that has that strong of grappling as Islam Makhachev, and yeah, I think he can get him down. And if he tries to get back up, I think he maybe can find a choke as well. So, wow. My brain is fucking cooked. Anyways, yeah, those are my predictions. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all win some nice money. And do not think that this prediction video is a joke, because I actually fucking spoke my fucking thoughts. And most of the shit that I pretty much said will probably happen. So, anyways, goodbye.